everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you guys how to make fat top. Now fat top is one of those traditional Guyanese desserts that everybody loves, and I did realize that not too many people make it nowadays, and it's pretty confusing to me because it's a really simple recipe and it's really simple preparation to get this recipe done. So if it's your favorite or if it's not your favorite, go ahead and give it a try because I know you guys are going to love this recipe. I also wanted to mention that I will be using freshly grated coconut today in my recipe. If you guys want to know how to bust open the coconut and grate out all of the meat from the coconut, go ahead and check out one of my previous videos where I showed you guys how to do that. I'll link it above here in this video. So stay tuned for the recipe, guys. Alright everyone, so before we get into the whole cooking process, I want to go ahead and go over all of the ingredients that I'll be using to make my fat top today. Now as you guys can see in my bowl here, I have some finely ground cornmeal, and I recommend using the fine one instead of the coarse one for a better texture. I also have some brown sugar, some freshly grated coconut, and I do have a video on how to bust open the coconuts and grate them, so go ahead and check that out. And for my spices here, I have some ginger powder, some cardamom or elychee, some freshly ground nutmeg, and a little pinch of salt. And to mix my batter, I have some coconut milk here. And if you didn't want to use the coconut milk to mix your batter, you could go ahead and use evaporated milk. And on the side here, I have some extra coconut milk and some brown sugar to make the fat part of the fat top. Now for this part, you need to use coconut milk because the coconut milk is going to give you that fat that the fat top is known for, or that layer, that creamy layer that's on top of it. Alright everyone, now that we've gone over all of the ingredients, I'm going to show you guys how to mix this fat top together. Now I'm using a 9x9 inch baking dish to go ahead and bake my fat top in, and I went ahead and just sprayed the bottom so it wouldn't stick. So in my bowl here, to my cornmeal, I'm going to go ahead and add in all of my shredded coconut. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in all of the spices, so that includes the ginger, the cardamom, the nutmeg, and the little pinch of salt. And I'm just going to give that a whisk so this way all of that could get combined. You want the spices to be evenly distributed throughout. And I'm also pouring my sugar at this point, and I'm going to give that a mix so I could take out any clumps that were in the sugar. Now that I've mixed in all of my dry ingredients, it's time to go ahead and add in my coconut milk. So as I said before, you can go ahead and use evaporated milk for this step, but I'm using the coconut milk. So you want to pour all of your coconut milk in at once and go ahead and start whisking. Now at this point you want to work pretty fast because cornmeal tends to soak up liquid very fast. And if you were to let it sit or work very slow, then the cornmeal would soak up the liquid, and when you put it to bake, the cornmeal would get pretty dry and hard and tough, and that's not what you want. You want it to be nice and soft in the end. Now that I've mixed up all of my ingredients, I want to go ahead and pour in all of my batter into my 9x9 inch baking dish. Now I want to mention that I've only greased the bottom of the tray, and that's because if you were to grease the side, then the sides of the actual cornmeal mixture, they would shrink, and when you pour the second mixture on in the next step, all of it would seep to the bottom and you wouldn't have that layer of fat that the fat top is known for, or that big creamy layer that's on the top. So while the cornmeal mixture is baking in the oven, what you want to do is go ahead and prepare the creamy layer that goes on top of the fat top, or the fat for the fat top. What you want to do is go ahead and add in your coconut milk into your bowl, and for this step you need the coconut milk because the coconut milk is what gives it the texture and makes it come together in the end. And I also want to add in my sugar, and I want to whisk it together until all of the sugar is dissolved. And once the sugar is dissolved, you want to go ahead and just leave this to the side until your cornmeal mixture is done baking. I just pulled out my cornmeal mixture from the oven and it took exactly 20 minutes. As you guys can see, the top has just started to set. Now with this part you want to be very careful because if you were to leave this in the oven for too long, it would dry out and get hard. So 20 minutes should be enough. What I've done here now is poured on my coconut milk and sugar mixture, and once this goes in the oven, the mixture is going to get nice and thick and gelatinous. I pulled my fat top out of the oven and it took exactly 38 minutes to get that nice gelatinous layer that the fat top is known for on the top. And I let it cool for about 10 minutes, and at this point I'm slicing it so I could go ahead and serve it. So I just wanted to show you guys what the fat top looks like once I finish cutting it. As you guys can see, it has the cornmeal layer at the bottom, and then it has the nice gelatinous layer at the top that was made with the coconut milk and the sugar. Now, let's all be honest, that's the best part of this fat top, and that's the reason everyone loves it so much. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe today, and I really hope you enjoyed being in the kitchen with me again today. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so this way you can get notified on when I do make new videos, and please comment down below on what you guys would like me to make next. There are a lot more traditional Guyanese desserts than this, and if you guys know of one and want to request it, go ahead and request it down below, and I'll try to get it done as soon as possible. Once again, thanks for watching, everyone.